Lucky Lefty Podcast, Onora Boys in the building. We're brought to you by ONORA Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. It is that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. If you drink left, you might as well make sure that you do it
responsibly.
Let's get it. Lucky Lefty, Shaun Davis, SD2 Mics, the original Lucky Lefty himself, MALIK ZAIRE. We are brought to you by ONORA Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, courtesy of Believe Network. Believe in Notre Dame, believe in Lucky Lefty, believe in yourself. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, go lock in right now. Automatic downloads, audio edibles each and every day. Players only on patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. Subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you leave your comments, questions. We respond to all. We're the home of the misguided passion. You can go check out LuckyLeftyPod.com. LuckyLeftyPod.com. Home of the misguided passion. Forever committed to making sure that we spin it different. Get your GTB questions in. Any questions about practice, get them in. Super chats, we greatly appreciate them. We're here for you tonight. We're going to talk about a little bit of the practice today because your boy, now this is what I've decided, Lev. I had some important things to do and I could have forced it and gotten up early and took the trek. But for 4 periods, I was like, nah. I'll handle my business. I'll see you guys when we get full access and really talk about some things. Because even, listening to other people talk about it, reading reports, Brian Driscoll had a comprehensive report, offense and defense. Go check it out, boys, irishbreakdown.com. It's like, dude, it's a dress rehearsal, dude. We're talking about cats throwing in drills. I don't get anything from that. Only thing I get from that is, and we said it like from the first practice report, like what are we really taking for? Like this person had a good day, that person. No one knows once the doors were closed and the media got kicked out and they went good on good. Nobody knows how those quarterbacks were reacting. Like in baseball, I'll give you a baseball term. You listen to pitchers that have thrown no-hitters in perfect games, and they will tell you a lot of times you'll hear, that was the worst bullpen I've ever had. I have no clue how I came out and did that because I was horrible in the bullpen. I was horrible. And that's how sports is. Like warm-ups, drills, and then Cassie just turned around and started making plays. So we cautioned everybody a week ago, like relax, don't overreact to things. Like, unfortunately, and it's just unfortunate the amount of access that has been given. It's really nothing from a clip standpoint really put out there. And it is what it is. It is what it is, but it's uncharted territory. It is a team coming off of a long run. I don't know what Marcus Freeman and the staff is thinking, but I'm sure they have a plan. I don't think they're doing this just to do it. I fully believe that they have a plan and an explanation for why they feel like they need to operate this way. I think, for one, that is directly connected to the quarterback competition, because this is what happens. As soon as you put out, this person had a better day, there's a narrative. I'll give you a great example, man. According to reports on a podcast, someone that covers Notre Dame said that more than likely Steve Angeli is going to be the starting quarterback because the locker room has rallied around him. And dude, if you have sources that gave you that information, by all means, report it. Like, run with your sources, report what they tell you. But this is my thing. you're a day late and $1 short. Because that was the same message coming out of the locker room when Riley Leonard arrived last spring. It was the same thing we were hearing coming out of winter workouts. Steve Angeli is a leader. Guys love him. So it's nothing new. It's nothing new. And because there's limited access, fans and media have to grab on to whatever morsel they can get to be able to talk about it, Left. It is what it is. That's why I caution fans, like, don't even react. These first 2 weeks, don't even react. Worry more about recruits, who's showing up, how they feel. You know, Rodney Dunham, 5-star defensive end in the class of 2026 out of Charlotte, North Carolina, the same city that they got Bryce Young, has set a commitment date of April the 10th, shortly after leaving Notre Dame. That right there is something to get excited about. Notre Dame signing a top 5 player in the nation, top 30 player in the nation, depending upon the recruiting website, and a 5-star at defensive end. That's to focus on that until April the 5th, when we get a full dress rehearsal and can really tell you, this is who he seems like. This is the guy that performed today and seems like he's the front runner to be the starting quarterback. Until then, you take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. Even the wonderful things, like, dude, we're hearing that Cam Williams is, man, doing a great job. Michael Gilbert hasn't been able to play due to injury. Cam Williams has been, man, catching the ball, making plays. That's great to hear. Everybody's raving about his speed. We told you about his speed last year. We just told you he was raw. He was raw. Will was raw, but with speed. Remember, you used to say that all the time. You had to beg the coaches, you know, his freshman year, like, yo, put him in the game. Because he's super fast. Cam Williams was the exact same way last year. Super fast, really raw, really didn't know what the heck he was doing at the position, had to learn the nuances of the position. And now, after a full season, plenty of practices, staying healthy, now the kid is performing. No one is shocked by that, Left. No one is shocked by that. And to the Notre Dame fans, I understand. If you were upset because of the limited access, you have every right to be upset. Every right to be upset. But I'm just going to give you a tidbit of how this business works. You cannot celebrate Notre Dame for being different. We cannot celebrate Notre Dame for being independent. And we cannot celebrate Notre Dame for being good stewards. And then be upset when they give the bare minimum as far as access or as far as content from practices. You know why? Because whatever they give, it keeps us hungry and keeps us coming back for more as media and fans to consume. And the brand still grows. Until their bottom line is impacted, they have no reason to really operate any other way than they've been operating. They don't. That's the business side. I worked in the media, third biggest market, bro, for a decade. I'm telling you. Boss would say, Sean, 2 topics today. But man, we got like 5 to 6 stories. Like, we got some national stuff we can talk about. No. 2 topics for 3 hours. That's it. We're not giving them all that. Find 3 different ways to talk about each topic and carry it for 3 hours, because that's what creates the hunger. It's a business model. It's a business model. They are creating hunger amongst the consumers. And you know what's going to happen? The numbers for the spring game are going to be bananas because there has been limited access left. People are going to hop on the road to come see these 3 quarterbacks. I guarantee you the attendance at the blue and gold game is probably going to be bananas. Bananas.
Should be.
The Peacock numbers are going to be bananas. Why? They have created the hunger. I get it from a business standpoint. It's infuriating as a fan because you feel like, man, let us know what's going on. They're like, hey, we got the collection plate passed around. Blue and gold weekend. Show up or either watch it on Peacock. It's the business model, man. That's just the media point of view from being in the business. And as a fan point of view, it stinks. And I'm going to be honest. Notre Dame fans deserve more. They deserve more. I said it, but in the middle of the year, they need to do the same thing that they do in the NFL. They need to have a Hard Knocks off-season version. If you're not going to give access, they should have done a Hard Knocks off-season version, just like they do for the NFL. And it would have done crazy numbers coming off of a national title run. Crazy numbers. Can you imagine if they had done a 4-episode at the end of every week? It was 4 weeks of practices. Just do 1 episode per week. That's all you had to give Notre Dame fans. That's all you had to give Notre Dame fans. Notre Dame fans wouldn't even be, they would be, we're good. Just give them 1 episode. 1 week on the quarterback battle. 1 week on Freeman and the coaches. 1 week on the offensive line. 1 week on Chris Ash and all the coaches that replaced the coaches that left. You could have done it like that. Intrigue. You would have built everything up to the blue and gold game. Bam. Numbers would have been crazy, left. Numbers would have been crazy. But you know what you have to do in order to do something like that, left? You know what you have to do? You have to spend money. Because it costs. It costs. They could have did a crazy. I think tomorrow, I'm more excited about tomorrow than I am about any practice until April 5th.
Yeah.
Pro Day is going to be bananas because they have done an incredible job. Oh, dude, Todd Light, Bryant Young. I think CJ is going to be there again. CJ was there, helping Aldrich with his workout last year at the Pro Day. They're bringing in all the former great players. They're trying to make the Notre Dame Pro Day a big event again. They're trying to make it a big event. I think it's going to be absolutely bananas tomorrow. People are going to be coming to see Riley Leonard. Riley Leonard, he's going to be thought of, man. Can we get him in the 3rd, 4th round? Man, you expect a bunch of NFL teams. They're definitely going to be there to see the defensive tackles. Definitely going to be there to see X run the 40.
Yeah.
It's going to be a year, man. I'm more excited about going to the Pro Day tomorrow than it's like, all right, man. The practice, April 5th. We'll see. When it's the dress rehearsal, we'll see. Because it's going to come out in the wash. Whatever's been happening, it's going to show up April 5th.
Yeah, you can't, be biased on that. We all see what's happening.
No. So, Notre Dame fans, I get it, man. I get it. It's frustrating. But honestly, all you have to do, next Saturday, you will get a full report from everybody of what the deal is. Next Saturday, everybody will know the real deal of what's going on. Everybody.
Yeah.
So, rest easy.
Yeah,
rest easy. And don't just jump at everything and react to everything. So one thing that I love, we're going to hear from Al Washington. We're going to hear from Joe Rudolph. We're going to hear from offensive linemen and defensive linemen left. But before we do that, I will like to jump into some things that were reported today. It was, as far as the offensive line, Charles Jagusah was seen at right guard, working with Gerby Lambert at right tackle. We're going to hear from Joe Rudolph talking about both of those guys coming up in a few minutes. And I told you, Left, if Charles Jagusah comes out at the guard position in the spring, that tells me one of two things. One can be very good, and the other could be. It could mean that one individual is solidified as the starting left tackle, or the move was made to facilitate the best five guys being on the field for the offensive line. Now
Right.
that I rock with.
Yeah.
If there is more opportunity for your young tackles, whether they're already on the roster or they're showing up in the fall, and in order to facilitate that, you move Charles Jagasaw to the right guard where he can be elite at, I'm fine with it. Makes a world of sense. Makes a world of sense. So, what do you say to that? Because Gerby Lambert and Charles Jagasaw, I don't know if you saw, I think it was Mike Bernardini, who put the footage out of them working combo blocks together. And Charles Jagasaw is a big boy, and Gerby Lambert made him look small.
Yeah.
Charles Jagasaw is a big boy, and
Yeah.
Gerby made him look small. So
it's a good problem to have. I think them being interchangeable is probably the idea early in spring, just to be able to say you work both spots, just because they've seen in the season, especially in crucial moments and in the biggest games, we've had to move guys around where they may not have had the same amount of reps throughout the season, but now we've taken that knowledge and we're like, all right, well, it's the spring. We're not looking to win any games right at this moment, but it will be nice for both guys to get work, just because, and for the sake of the familiarity, if we were to ever had to switch or maneuver things, or like how we had to do the last two seasons. And I think moving with the intention on making guys interchangeable as opposed to playing one position all the way up and then you get hurt and then and then you behind. I think Marcus Freeman has kind of adapted, as well as Joe Rudolph, that the quality of offensive line that you're getting at Notre Dame will allow these guys to all play all positions at some point. It's kind of how the Lakers, they interchange, they swap all picks. They can play all switch all guards and all forwards. So for us to be able to be comfortable doing that, then you don't, things such as the injuries that we saw last year that took place at a dramatic and drastic time, it becomes way more feasible to work guys in, get new guys more experience, and they not just feel like a fish out of water, like we some places be before. But because of quality alignment that you have, you're erring on the side of good anyway. Charles Jagasaw at right guard, and he usually plays left tackle or whatever. Him being so good and so talented, him playing right guard, it looked like it was a regular day. And then he goes to left tackle and plays even better. You're like, that he can do it all. That's what you want. If guys, the way things are going, being multiple in your position and being useful at that is going to be highly touted. And then you get to see the difference of, okay, well, you get a guy like Q Nelson or Ronnie Stanley. Those are defined positions. Ronnie's not playing no guard. Quinn's not playing no tackle. You really don't have guys like that no more. But when you do get guys like that, that's how you know you got generational talent. That's how you know you got clear first rounder. If you're okay, it's like levels to it. You're good enough to be a Notre Dame offensive lineman and get the offer. Then when you get in there, you're interchangeable until you define so well that one spot is locked down for you. It's a whole nother level. It's a whole nother level. When you come in, it's like, I don't care what you thought you played. You're just going to put your hand in the ground. You're going to block something, except center, most likely. Other than that, you better be able to head on the swivel, whatever. But guys, talent and the way we develop offensive linemen, we can do that. That's why you get continuous big time talent that come through because they understand it's a process they just got to go through. And on the other side, you got biscuits and gravy, $90 million contracts, all pro, first round pick, big money, second, in the league, 5, 6. These guys are recent history. Zach Martin is kicking it off, Hall of Famer for the Dallas Cowboys. Have some of that. Ronnie Stanley is going to be a Hall of Famer for the Baltimore Ravens. Quentin Nelson is going to be a Hall of Famer for the Colts. That was just less than 10 years ago. Aaron Banks, making bank. Robert Hainsey, Liam Eichenberg. The best center up there that we have, Sam Mustipher, still making his way in the league. Chicago needs to sign him back, quit playing. But he's doing his thing with the Chargers. So, from worst to first, if you're a Notre Dame lineman, you talking about Nick Saban say you come to Alabama, you're going to go to the league? Well, Notre Dame linemen specifically, hell, we even had guys turn pro wrestler at the offensive line room. WWE. They go pro in everything but sports. Come on, talk to me. Now we just need to apply that to all the other positions, and then we'd be the greatest school of all time. Because the offensive line stands the test of time, no matter head coach, offensive line coach, intern, top first round pick, don't matter. Offensive line go offensive line at Notre Dame. The brand and the O-line are the two consistent things. If we would ever slack in the offensive line area, Notre Dame's in a bad state of being. They have lost their way. That's what losing identity looks like. Now, we would like to evolve it, add some more positions in there, really turn up and make it a quarterback university. Because the funny thing is, the perspective is this quarterback university. You played quarterback in Notre Dame, that was it. Well, now we got to put Hall of Famers, first rounder. You know what I'm saying? We got to buff it up. That's what Alabama did. When has Alabama's quarterback room ever been worth anything? But they got them 4 back to back to back to back. You know what I'm saying? They start doing something crazy. Now the Alabama room's so highly respected. Well, the board got to keep it up. He ain't starting hot with Jalen Milroe. But Jalen Milroe might be a first rounder. So, see how things go.
It's interesting because when we get to Coach Rudolph, you're going to hear him say certain things about certain players that might scratch your head. But ultimately, Left, it comes down for me. Someone asked, matter of fact, let's bring it up. Justin Kane, thank you. What are your top 5 O linemen? Your top 5 O linemen? And it's 2 ways I can answer that. It's who do I think are the top 5 O linemen right now? And then who do I think the top 5 linemen will be at the end of fall camp? Now, you need to say that because you have to give the injured guys a chance, like Ashton Craig, you have to give him a chance to come back to see if he's the same player he was when he was a guy that we expected to be the starting center for the next 3 seasons while he was at Notre Dame. So you have Ashton Craig. At this point in time, Emil Wagner is definitely one of your top 5. Charles Jagasaw is one of your top 5. Billy Schrauff is one of your top 5. So I just gave you Schrauff, Jagasaw, and Wagner. Now you have 2 spots left. If you have Jagasaw playing right guard, is Emil Wagner now swinging to your left tackle so that Gerby Lambert can be your right tackle? Do they feel like incoming freshman Will Black, by the time they get to the end of fall camp, is going to be the starting left tackle? Hey, they just started a true freshman at left tackle. At least this year, they'll have a veteran next to him at left guard in Billy Schrauff. Would I be opposed to Will Black, Billy Schrauff, Ashton Craig, or Joe Otting at center with Charles Jagasaw and Emil Wagner at right tackle? Would I be opposed to that? Absolutely not. Would I be opposed to Emil Wagner at left tackle, Billy Schrauff at left guard, Ashton Craig, Joe Otting at center, Charles Jagasaw at right guard, and Gerby Lambert at right tackle? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now,
we got a solid
in the two lineups I just named, there is a name that is noticeably absent. Because if we're just talking about the best lineman, I don't know if that person in particularly falls into that category. However, for the sake of the question, I'm going to say that I believe that a combination of Gerby Lambert and Emil Wagner at tackle is probably the best way to go right now. Emil Wagner and Gerby Lambert are your best tackles right now. With Charles Jagasaw at right guard. If Ashton Craig is healthy, he's your starting center. And then Billy Schrauff is your starting left guard. That's it. That's it. That's it. Everybody keeps talking about a certain player. I'm not saying his name. The question was the best 5 linemen. That means talent, ceiling, athleticism, all of that. The best 5. The best 5. Your starting right guard, let's just give evidence, Left. Your starting right guard was better at pass protection than the guy that started at left tackle all season. Let me say that again. The guy that started at left tackle was not as good as the guy that's your starting right guard in pass protection at left tackle.
Right.
You have a 5-star coming in that is more talented and has a higher ceiling than your starting tackle left tackle last year. That's not even a question. Anybody that wants to debate that, you're bugging. If you want to sit here and debate that Will Black is not better or has a better upside, if you started a true tackle last year at the left side and he's better coming in, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? So when you ask me who's going to be the best 5 offensive linemen, and we're talking about at the end of fall camp, Coach Rudolph can start whomever he wants to start. We're just flat out talking about the best, the most talented. It's hard to include. It's hard to include somebody. Now, once again, if the move of Jagasaw to the right guard Left is to facilitate the best 5 guys being on the field, which gives Gerby Lambert an opportunity and gives Will Black an opportunity when he shows up in the summer, I'm all for it. I'm absolutely all for it. If there is a true competition at the tackle positions to see who the best is, let's rock out. Let's rock out, because that's just how deep and talented the offensive line room is.
Yep.
That's just how deep and talented they are. I gave you 2 rotations, 2 different 5s that could be the best 5 at the end of fall camp, and it did not include your starting left tackle from last year that you went to the national championship game with. O-line U was in full effect.
Full effect.
It's in full effect. It's absolutely in full effect. And that's not to say anything negative about anybody. I want to make that clear. I am not saying anything negative about anybody. I am literally pointing out the players that have the higher ceilings and talent and ability in the room. That's it. Joe Rudolph will play whomever he wants to play.
Yeah.
I have no problem with Jags being at right guard. Absolutely none.
No.
As long as it's facilitating open competition, because Emil Wagner's not going anywhere.
No.
He's not going anywhere. He's starting. Charles Jagusah is starting. Ashton Craig, if he's healthy, is starting. That's 2 slots for like 5 players, in my opinion. We're really, well, no. Billy Schrauff. So it's really 1 spot. It's really, look, Billy Schrauff is your left guard. It's really 1 spot open.
Yeah.
With 3 serious contenders. 1 spot, 3 serious contenders, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. So, man, Joe Rudolph, we might as well go and play 3-card Molly to find out who's going to start at left tackle. Because, I mean,
yeah, you can't go wrong with either one of them.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. You think I'm about to say something bad? If the dude that played left tackle on a national championship run is inserted as the starter, all right, let's rock. Let's rock. Do I think he's more talented than the other guys? No, I don't. Yeah, Jay Greers, you're right. We might as well play rock, paper, scissors. Might as well. Lucky Lefty podcast. So that's the offensive line. Running backs, Coach Sider has them running. Dude, let me tell you something, man. From the video I saw, that running back room is so immensely talented. And
yeah,
I keep seeing clips of Jeremiah Love flexed out, running crazy routes. And I'm like, yeah. Mrs. Denbrock found the stuff in the attic left. She found the old playbooks. She found the LSU 2023 playbooks that were stored away, bro.
Put away for safekeeping.
See. This offense is going to be high octane, man.
Yeah, it needs to be.
It's going to be high octane. It's going to be high octane. It's crazy. Defensive side of the ball, man. The depth on the defensive line, and shout out to, as I said before, a 5-star defensive end, Charlotte, North Carolina, Rodney Dunham, who visited Notre Dame this past weekend. Notre Dame has a bunch of Charlotte, North Carolina boys and North Carolina boys on the roster. They did a great job in recruiting this young man. Man, left for the most part, it's a lot. There are a lot of people pretty much predicting right now that he's going to be that dude. Have you seen his film, Left?
No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
If we have time, because we have a special guest coming up in about 20 minutes for you guys, a very special guest who actually joined our show immediately after he committed to Notre Dame. We'll let that be the tease. Immediately after he committed to Notre Dame, he jumped on with us, and he's always rocked with us. Always rocked with us. So we'll talk to him coming up in about 20 minutes right here on the Lucky Lefty podcast. All right, let's hear from the coaches, man. You want to hear from who? You want to hear from first? You want to hear from Joe Rudolph or Al Washington? Which one?
Al Washington.
You want to hear from Al? You like bring it. Al Washington. Oh man, talking about the 2 new transfers at defensive tackle, Elijah Hughes and Jared Dawson. This is what he had to say, Left.
very pleased with what they're doing, who they are as players, the maturity, experience is showing, and then their eagerness to learn. I think part of the challenge of college football when you do, get transfers in, is their willingness to adopt the new culture, the new techniques, the new calls, terminology, all of that. So they've been fantastic. They want to be really good. So it's easy to coach in that sense. So very pleased with how they started.
And then with Armel, it seemed like he was close to cracking in last year. What's he got to do this spring?
He's doing it, man. He's becoming more of a leader, but just all the little things are starting to click. And I'm very pleased with him, man. He's done a hell of a job these first however many practices. But I think he's on the right track. So, I'm excited to have high expectations for him.
I love hearing that. I've been waiting on Armel Mukam to start receiving praise and hearing good things about him coming out to practice. The depth on it, when people were wondering why Devin Houston moved the offensive line, and I went live on the air and named like 8 players on the interior, like it's 8 dudes on this D line playing defensive tackle. If the young man wants to see the field, he better go learn how to play offensive guard real fast.
8 dudes.
8 dudes. 8 dudes.
He got the transfer from Louisville.
The transfer from USC. Jason Onye is back. Armel Mukam. Donovan Heinisch. Gabriel Rubio. Sean Sevillano. Davion Dixon. Hey. Brennan Vernon is on the inside. I mean, you have to make business decisions, and Devin Houston made a business decision. Like, I'm not seeing the field on this side of the ball. It's not happening.
It's a lot of guys.
It's a lot of talent. It's a lot of talent. I actually feel better. Let me make sure I say this respectfully, because you have 2 defensive tackles that are about to be drafted into the NFL between rounds 3 and 5, more than likely. The 2025 defensive tackle situation, from an overall talent and depth standpoint, is in a better position than Notre Dame was going into last season. Yeah. It's in a better position. And a lot of people might look at Riley Mills and the leadership, but just the depth. Your transfer guys might be your 2s or your 1Bs. And Elijah Hughes was getting more reps at the end of the year. Jared Dawson is pretty much, he's one of the main dudes on the interior for Louisville. So you're getting starter level transfers to pretty much be your 1Bs. And then you still have guys like Jason Onye and Armel Mukam. What are they, your 1Cs? This is like the talent without a serious drop-off is crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So that defensive line, this might be the defensive line left that really makes an impact in the run game. Remember we talked about Notre Dame. Can they get to a place where the defensive line holds opposing offenses under 100 yards per game on the ground? This is one of the biggest defensive line rooms on the interior that they've had in a long time. I think they have Donovan Heinisch is the only interior guy under 300.
That's pretty good.
The only guy under 300. So you put those big bodies in front of these fast linebackers.
We got some, we got something.
You're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem for opposing offenses. So But what did you think about what Al Washington said right there about the transfer guys and Armel Mookum, man, who we've been waiting for to kind of bust out?
Yeah, it's one of those things that you just get excited for on what's on the horizon, knowing that the things that were the problem are being addressed, and the guys that we have put there to address them, they're qualified under the things that we expected to make the difference for the next year. Like you said, we're 8 deep. And for them to all be interchangeable is even better, because now it's like, okay, well, we saw injuries happen last time, but not only that, we want to see a productive level of talent produce at a level where it's elite. Who's going to be the lead dog of the 8? You know, because at the end of the day, 2 could play and rotate and whatever, but who's going to be that guy, that name? We got a lot of good talent, but who's going to be the dude? And I think that's the thing we're anticipating most, but also something that I think is going to come about because it's so competitive. You see, one guy dropped out. So what the other guy's going to do? One guy was like, yeah, this is too hot for me, too thick in the weeds for me. I'm going to just jump sides. Who, what's next? Somebody got to be a top dog. And I think that's going to spur that. You got a bunch of good guys. Justin Scott can't say that now. Justin Scott can't say, I look to my left and right and I'm dominating coming in. I don't know if he can say that coming in now. Miami's line's supposed to be pretty good too, but hey, I'm just saying we're going to find out. But also, that's also addressing something that everybody knew. That's what makes it exciting. Recruits can't come in and think they're going to run shop day one. It might be a little hierarchy. Some guys have been through some stuff, went through the process, has earned and deserved their position. You can feel it. Last year, it was just like, hey, whoever want to go, you want to go next? Oh, whoever's behind Riley, let's. So now it's a little like everybody's cleared, smoke's cleared. There ain't no more bunch of fifth year. Oh, my captain. Oh, you've been here since the beginning. You my big bro. It's a lot of fresh blood in there. It's like, well, you ain't got that many stars. I ain't got that many stars. He ain't got that many stars, but we all good. Who gonna make a difference? Al Washington. How you gonna bring it out of him? Because you don't have the excuse of no talent. Now there's the expectation we need some sacks matter. It's the first thing you writing on the board in spring. Pressure matters. Sacks matter. Because there's too much talent in here. And some money going around to y'all boys? Oh, no.
Yeah, we cutting checks.
We cutting checks too?
Yeah, we're going to have to see something for that.
Sacks not mattering is no longer a quote, a phrase, a motto.
Al Washington talked about his young protege, none other than Bryce Young.
I mean, just the details. I got to check myself sometimes. He's a true freshman. He's still he's still a freshman. He doesn't look like it and doesn't act like it. It's very mature, but in the same breath, experiences in the details, like the basic things. And he's working like a dog at trying to get mastery of those things, but that'll come. He's been fantastic, very special kid, all the way, all inside and out, all the way around.
Your position group obviously had a lot of adversity last year with injuries, but as a result, guys got to play. How much farther ahead do you feel like you might be now because of that?
Yeah, I just think the level of confidence that I have as a coach and the guys in the room is really high, and I think their confidence is very high. I think adversity reveals really where you're at, and the advantage we had from going through that was you can always fall back on, and you have a tough moment now, you fall back on it and know that you can overcome or you can elevate, so to speak. So yeah, I got a high level of confidence. I'm excited. I love the group. Like, I think the other part of that is you get close. You know what I mean? You get really, really close, like in terms of, strengthening that bond, which is really important. So I love coaching the group, man. And we go at it pretty good, so it's been good.
I see you over there getting nervous with that 1-point game in the fourth quarter. You getting real nervous because you were talking real greasy. LL fans, he was talking real greasy before the game, boy. He was talking real greasy before we started the show. Now that bad fella's down to 1 point. It's a 1-point lead in the fourth quarter, about 5 minutes. He's over there nervous. His boy's about to lose 4 in a row. He's nervous. Go ahead, though. No, Al Watson.
Team in the East, by the way. It's the fourth team, a playoff team now.
That's fine. Bryce Young, though. Bryce Young.
What we love about Bryce Young.
Did the Pacers just take a lead?
Wait, hold on. I think they gonna tie it up. See, he doing too much.
I love it. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Bryce Young, what we know and what Marcus Freeman geniusly concocted, instead of getting the pure 5 stars, you get legacy players. And when you get legacy players, it's just a little bit more locked in, a little bit more understanding of technique and little things and what it takes to be a pro and how to do certain things that it takes years to find out. You got a guy at home that's a Hall of Famer. So these legacy players are guys that are built and equipped in a different way. You know, that's what's so genius about Marcus Freeman. We got great result in production out of great result in production out of a guy like Jordan Clark, guy that has acumen from his dad, high level of football IQ, good amount of talent and understanding of the game, how it translates to a program that fits that. You know, when you go to a program that fosters that type of pro mentality, it connects between that and the legacy player. And for Bryce Young, it's no different. I just think it just activates in him.
Mm-hmm.
Good grief, he's in the same locker room on the same field as his own dad. So you can't tell me something metaphysical isn't going on to where the genes ain't just kicking in for certain things. Where Al Washington, like, oh, this is way easier to teach, you know. He gets it. I don't have to over explain it. So I like that. That's the effect it has, but also, you know, jumps you in some years. You know, you catch up a lot faster to guys that the Jason Onyes and the top guys that have been there for a while, closes that gap, but it makes the experience of your D-line a little bit thicker. Right? So I'm not surprised of anything from a development standpoint from Bryce Young. It's just a matter of just activating this beast mode and how he develops physically over the time he's at school. But from getting better each year, that's just going to come with it.
I agree.
If you got a legacy dad, it's a good quality to have. We're not saying it's just going to happen. But if you get a legacy kid at Notre Dame, it's one thing to be a legacy kid, and then to see the value of your dad probably telling you that Notre Dame's a little different. It can, you know, you more suited for, you know. Now you got a double whammy. Now you're looking at it like, okay, well, yeah, something's gonna fall good out of this. Even we had a David Robinson's son. Legacy and just the pro athlete aspect. And Corey just knew what to do. Corey didn't have to, you know, things didn't catch him by surprise as if he didn't, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you have a good reference point. If you've been around your grandma long enough, sometimes you don't have to read the back of the box to make cookies. You just like, dang, grandma just did it this way. He's still getting cookies, but it's a different result. It's just a little bit better. It's just a little bit different. You don't need to know every 4 parts, 1 part flour, 4 part. You don't need to do all that. You just iron it. You just seen grandma doing it for so long. So that's what you get for Bryce Young. It's just like, you know how to make these cookies, and it's like you just got to, it's just something to you. So I love the legacy aspect we're adding in our recruitment.
Lucky Lefty Podcast. We got a special guest coming up for you guys momentarily. Lucky Lefty Podcast. We spin it different. So I don't want to jump over too much because we want to be able to have the special guests jump in without us. I know we had a question. I meant to say I don't want the special guest jumping in the middle of a conversation. I go at Jay Grizz. Jay Grizz, you're absolutely right, my brother. Yeah, we're not going to talk about what the Bulls did. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that.
They're not even a playoff team. They're not a playoff team. What are we talking about?
Hey, man, I don't go around defending them as a playoff team. No one said that.
But they say broken clocks are right twice a day. So,
Hey, man. You're right. You're right. Over the course of 22 years, you win every now and then. You're right.
Yeah, you get lucky sometimes. It happens.
Yeah, you sure do. Yeah, them Ohio boys get lucky sometimes. Lucky Lefty Podcast.
Yeah, that 9 straight. Now when you go 9 straight, that ain't luck.
Yeah, they get lucky sometimes. Defensively, I think something that stood out, Luke Talich, which I think is well earned. I think when Luke Talich got on the field, he made plays last year. He made plays. So for him to be, especially with Stroman, the transfer out, getting his clavicle back and in order, it makes sense that Luke Talich is that dude. Matter of fact, we're going to ask our special guest his thoughts about some of those youngsters on the defensive side of the ball. And then the second group, you had Kennedy Urlacher and I'm sorry, Left. Let me make sure I get the.
Yeah, get the line up. I mean, all these guys are just, they're in a good program. And when you're in a good program, it just falls in line the right way, especially when you got a great coach and just a good leadership. So it's just looking great. And Lakers is up too, by the way. You know how that goes.
All I said was you was over there sweating for a minute. That's all I said. You were sweating for a minute.
It's Arizona.
Yeah, when it was a big lead, you was all good. But you started sweating for a minute. Tay Johnson and Kennedy Urlacher were the second group of safeties. Which Tay Johnson can cover a lot of ground. Tay Johnson, to be honest, might cover the most ground as safety. I have to see Jadon Blair, but Tay Johnson, you're talking about somebody playing safety with corner skills. At the end of the season, Tay Johnson was Leonard Moore's backup at the field corner. That lets you know. That definitely lets you know how much range he has. And he played both positions in high school, so he's very familiar. This safety position, once again, is going to become a strength for this team, in my opinion. Devontae Smith is going to be, everybody loves the way he looks on the field. He looks super athletic, really good hips. He's going to be in there in the nickel. Notre Dame has done an incredible job going out, using the transfer portal for the nickel. And You know what? It's probably easier to go get a nickel than it is to develop a nickel, because you don't scout a kid in high school and say, oh, he's going to be a nickel.
Right.
We're giving him a scholarship offer to come in and play the nickel. That's normally not.
And know what's going on.
Yeah, kids usually fall into the nickel because they're not able to climb the depth chart at the field or boundary, and it's like a stop before possibly moving to safety. You know, it's very rare that you recruit a kid for the specific purpose of being a nickel. So
Yeah.
I think it's wise to go to the portal to find veteran nickels. Right? That's a difficult position, especially in today's game with all of the slot fades and motions and quick screen game and all of that stuff.
It's more experience that you got to have.
Yes, yes, and you have to have a nickel that can come up and force in the run game, right? Because you're going to stay nickel. The majority of these defenses is going to stay in nickel.
Yeah.
You know, regardless of the down. So,
gotta get right.
Yeah, I love hearing that, and I love that Kennedy Urlacher is with that group as well. I love hearing that.
Tweener.
He's a thumper, though.
Yeah, you need a physicality in that position too.
So, yeah, your starting linebackers, as we figured, would be Drake Bourne and Kingston.
Yep.
That was Stevie Wonder saw that coming.
Yeah. Kingston's nice.
Kingston's Madden Ferramo is nice too, bro.
We saw his tape.
Madden Ferramo is gonna be real nice. Really nice. Really nice. You definitely might see Madden Ferramo being used in pass rush situations and on third downs.
Yep.
And, it was reported that Kingston actually lost weight.
He always had like a smaller frame than me anyway. So as long as he can hit something, shed blocks.
He could definitely hit something. You already know that. Lucky Lefty podcast. So our special guest should be jumping on in a few seconds. Left, is there one thing that you want to hear about this defensive line group, whether it's the interior or interior, coming out of the sprint, that's going to make you feel comfortable going into fall camp?
I would just like to hear if we give our offensive line some trouble. Some days they win, some days they lose. If there's a clear battle going on, where some days you're like, man, the offensive line, well, you don't know. Well, maybe because the defensive line is putting it on them, maybe because of some of that. So if we can provide a noticeable middle pressure, if we can get in the backfield with middle pressure from just the front four or the three or whatever have you, it's a very exciting feeling to know that you can build off of that. If those front four, those front three or whatever get pressure, the amount of ability that you have with a defensive back is just, the defensive backing is just incredible. It's just incredible. Look at Ohio State. Ohio State won a lot of games, right? Based off the fact their front four was so good that the back end just sat in zone, did what they did, and made plays based off of the quarterback being rushed.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game plan. You look like a genius. You know what I mean? By the way, LeBron just hit that game winner, and I hope you saw that. So never worry.
Bro, I could care less about LeBron James right now. I'm glad he finally hit something worthwhile.
That's right. Add to the resume.
While they're struggling against these lowly East Conference teams.
Indiana's fourth in the West, so.
You mean in the East?
But in the East, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, clean it up. I don't know what, man. You really believe for some reason.
Lakers.
Oh, that's wonderful. They broke a nice losing streak. It's not, it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Oh man.
So let's see if I have one more clip here of Al Washington. If not, we can move on. Let's move on to man, I'm sorry, I'm trying to help the guest get into the studio. While he hops into the studio, hopefully he can get in soon. Jordan Botelho, someone that is returning from injury. He spoke about his return and how he feels this spring.
Each week we're doing a lot more, and I'm excited with this progression. Coach Landa got us doing some good exercises, and I look forward to every day to attacking the workout that he has for us.
And then I know it's still early in spring ball, but haven't any of the young guys stood out to you yet?
Yeah, Logan Thomas, he looks quick out the edge, and you don't ever gotta tell him to play physical or have any extra effort. He does that automatically. So.
Coach Washington said every once in a while you're asking him to do stuff and he's got to tell you not yet or hold back. What's that line of trying to push yourself, but also realizing there's a ways to go to be fully healthy?
You know, I gotta be smart, because if I do something right now, I could hurt myself. So just listening to him and following the plan is always a good thing.
What's your hunger level for next season after obviously having success last year and then having it taken away?
Well, I feel like I'm really hungry, and I'm just looking forward to getting back and just attacking each day, just getting back out there with the boys and just proving myself again.
Shout out to JB, getting back healthy, man. Tragic injury against Purdue last year that took what was supposed to be his final season. He gets an opportunity to come back and run it back again. And I'm super excited to see JB back on the field, Left.
Yes, you know, he was getting off to somewhat of a start, and just too early to tell. You know, you want him to come back and be a force, and just the nature of where we are as a unit, defensive line wise. I mean, we got some guys that's ready to go. So we've proven we can able to step in with missing pieces, but this goes for the same as it does for the D tackles. Like, somebody's got to go in there and say, "Hey, this is my spot. This is how we running it, right?" And we're just gonna be a difference maker. We want to be able to be distinguishable of who's our right end, who's our left end, who's our nose, who's our three. Distinguishable. We need some because I think goes back to our problem last year. We had a bunch of good guys, but when we went against a bunch of other good guys, there was nobody we had that was great.
Yeah. Lucky Lefty podcast. We are pleased to welcome in. No, he's not a stranger to Lucky Lefty. As we said before, when he committed to the University of Notre Dame, he jumped on with us to talk about why he decided to become part of the program. And now he is a baller in the NFL, and he is a member of the Las Vegas Raiders, none other than former Notre Dame defensive back Thomas Harper. He joins us right here on the Lucky Lefty podcast. Hart, what's good, bro?
Got the man of the hour.
We got him. Harp, if you can hear us, we might need you to come back in because we don't see your picture and we're not able to hear you.
Woo, woo.
I thought we had him up right there for a second.
He's just coming out of a nice off-season workout. You know, he's probably putting in 2-3.5 workouts a day. He's probably sitting in the sauna. You know how that goes.
He'll try to come back in. But yeah, Tom, like I said, when he decided to commit to Notre Dame in the portal, he jumped on with us like the very next day.
The next day, yeah.
There we got him.
So I'm like,
What's up, Hart?
what's going on? My bad.
What's up, man?
Over here.
We got you in your streaming chair, you in your streaming mode right now.
Put some light on.
Oh,
yeah. I'm just chilling right now.
So how's the off season going, bro? You got through your first NFL season. Like, what was that like? Getting through your first NFL season. I know it was a transition coming from college football and
getting
then
traded, you know, moving different teams.
It was a crazy experience. Obviously, like I said, it wasn't how I expected it to go. But I mean, looking back on it, I think everything like happened how it was supposed to happen. Like, I'm glad I'm in Las Vegas. Like, I feel like everything happened how it's supposed to, but it definitely wasn't according to plan. For sure.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say two words. I bet you a smile comes across your face. Spencer Rattler.
You know, it's always good because I knew him. Like, I played him back in Oklahoma, so
yeah,
I had to get him back anyway. So it was good. It was a good moment.
For those who don't know, your first career interception came down against New Orleans in the Dome against Spencer Rattler. Just talk about that moment. What was the coverage? What did you see? You know, because you really came out of nowhere. I see what he saw and what he thought he had.
Right.
You literally had to read it perfectly to come away with the pick.
I mean, we was in a cover one robber situation, and like say they probably expected us to be in that, so they had routes that was running away from man coverage. And yeah, so we just showed I showed a too high look, and then on the snap I held my disguise, and then I seen it and believed it, and then yeah.
How much more of your football knowledge have you gained since going from Notre Dame to the NFL? Has it been a big change, or have you just had to really think deeper about it once you got into the league?
I think going to Notre Dame definitely helped me like tremendously, just because mindset wise, like I felt like I was raw coming into Notre Dame, and I still feel like I'm kind of raw, but just yeah, like that's the biggest thing for sure. Like it's just being able to understand the game to where when you're out there, it slows down.
Once again, our guy Thomas Harper, Las Vegas Raiders of the NFL, joins us right here on the Lucky Lefty podcast. And you go to the Raiders, and one of your former coaches ends up coming out there, leaving Notre Dame. Have you had an opportunity to chop it up with Coach Dylan McCullough?
I haven't yet. I haven't really been around like that. I got like a little place where I go do all my rehab and stuff, just to kind of like try to get my mind, elsewhere. But I haven't. But I'll see him real soon. I'll see him real soon.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. So talk about the transition the Raiders are going through right now. Pete Carroll's a big time program builder. And he's turned things around, whether it's in the pros or whether it's in college football. Talk about your excitement to play for, a legendary coach like that.
I mean, it brings it full circle because, like, that's, like, somebody that I grew up, like, hearing about, He's been doing it for a long time. So he had, like, the Legion of Boom. I mean, it's crazy. So it's crazy, like, being able to see that team and then being able to be coached by him after seeing his resume thus far. So it's crazy. Just try to soak up as much knowledge from him as I can.
So I'm going to take you back a year ago, literally to this day. I don't even know if you know it's a year ago. I was there in person, and literally you stole the show at the pro day. Like the numbers you put up
a year ago.
It was a year ago today.
That's crazy.
Literally coming in because a lot of people didn't expect you to run as fast. They didn't expect you to be as athletic. And literally you just kept putting up numbers. I remember I had you on my clock in the 40 and I was like, yo, did I hit that right? And then I looked at somebody else and they were like, like, yo, is he in the 4.4s? Like, okay. this dude is doing it today. Man, you feel like that day going into that, do you feel like you had to come out with that type of performance? Was the pressure on you to do that based upon what you felt like? You dealt with some nagging injuries during the season, kind of affected you. Did you feel like coming into that pro day last year, like, man, I have to come out here and put on a show?
Yes and no. Like, yeah, I definitely wanted to. Obviously, like I felt disrespected, just like with everything that went on. Like the whole process just didn't go how I planned it to go. So like, I definitely felt disrespected. But I think as far as like pressure, like I mean, I feel like as an athlete growing up, like you kind of just get like immune to it. I guess I took the pressure and kind of just took it as disrespect, but I didn't necessarily put pressure on myself. Like I just feel like at the end of the day, like that's just, you know what I'm saying, it's what I do. So I don't even really think of it like that. But I mean, I definitely wanted to prove a point and felt like I had to showcase some things that, I mean, in my opinion, I felt like yeah, I mean, yeah, just felt like I had to showcase some things that I wasn't able to showcase at like the combine and stuff that, you know what I'm saying, I felt like I should have been invited to. But I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad everything happened the way it happened.
I remember.
You learned so much of that, and then it probably didn't change in the league. It's probably a lot of things that didn't go quite like how you wanted to, but you had to adjust. What's been that year of adjusting and kind of seeing how you fit in the league?
Oh yeah, that's what it's about. Because coming from the Chargers, going to the Raiders, two different systems. So it's about adjusting. How can you create the terminology? Can you listen to the terminology of this team and correlate it to the team that you just came from? So you're not behind. You know what I mean? So yeah, adjusting is definitely the biggest thing, and I think that's also how you like longevity. Like you got to change. Like
What was the move like? I mean, you're moving cities, you're wearing a different jersey, different practice facility. You don't know nobody. Isn't that just a crazy process? Was it hard, or you just like, I just gotta get to practice?
yeah, I was just ready to get the playbook. To be honest with you, I felt disrespected again, like that feeling be coming back. So like, but yeah, I was ready to get the playbook. Yeah, I wasn't trying to do none of the off the field stuff. I'm just trying to give me the playbook. Let's just go play football. Like,
yeah. I get a hotel, catch up with me when I get there. Type.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, just being around Notre Dame last year, you saw the national championship title run they made this year, getting to the title game against Ohio State, coming up short. The time you spent Marcus Freeman, he's trying to build things and get things to a certain point. It was Al Golden's defense being developed that you came into. As you watched this year from afar, did you have a moment to say to yourself, like, I saw this coming? Like I saw the pieces of it coming together. Like I could tell it was gonna happen.
Oh yeah, I think I think everybody did. Like, I mean, I think that loss to Ohio State, which I mean, if you look at the game, like we gave it away. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it was never. I feel like it was never a question of like, do we have the talent or could we compete? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I mean, I just think, like I say, things didn't quite go our way, and then yeah. I mean, I think we definitely knew though. Like we knew.
So what exactly, while you were there, what was it that you saw in the culture that made you say they're eventually going to get it done? You know, even when I leave.
Well, just being a part of the defense, like I just felt like the defense was really, really good and it was really sound. Like even if we gave up a big play, it wasn't because of the defensive structure. It was because somebody didn't do their job. You know what I mean? And once you understand that and then like I said, have the right people in the right places, and I just felt like yeah, like it's just kind of a mindset of the whole unit that you can just tell. Like,
what did you get from just that year of transfer? What was it like? You coming into a whole new environment at Notre Dame. You know, you got guys that have transferred in all these types for these 1 years. What was that process like? What's the advice? Were you nervous? And then, you know, coming into a program like Notre Dame, it was probably a little different and more comfortable to come into because you kind of saw, all right, they got things kind of together. I can try to just do this and do this. All right.
Right. Yeah, it helps tremendously. And then I think it's about like time. Like you're not gonna know a lot of people, so it's about how can you spend that time and to be productive. So like I think that kind of like forced me, like kind of like you might as well be productive because you don't really know a lot of people anyway. Like so, I think that helped a lot. And then like you said, like they lay it out. Like you're gonna be on a schedule. Like it's not gonna be. If you're gonna be on a schedule, you're gonna have to be places. So I think that's good though. I think it's good to grow, like help you grow and learn.
As you looked around, you're like, dang, I gotta be where, when? Oh shoot. You look up, it's Friday, you're like, dang, I ain't even
Man, I ain't even had time to get it's a lot and it's fun though. Like you gotta have outfits, like it just forces you to kind of things that you're gonna have to do in the real world, it forces you to do it.
Thomas Harper, former Notre Dame defensive back, current Las Vegas Raiders defensive back, right here, Lucky Lefty podcast, the original Lucky Lefty himself, Malik ZAIRE. I am SD2 Mike, Sean Davis. So when you get to the NFL, regardless of whether or not the trade happened, you're in the same division, which means it's the same boogeyman. It's the same boogeyman, bro. Everybody's chasing the same boogeyman in that division.
It's a new era. It's about to be a new era.
But you guys, for the last 2 seasons, really have given the Chiefs the most trouble, specifically from a defensive standpoint. What is it about you guys? Is it just the personnel? Because you guys, your defensive backfield is really talented. Of course, you got that freak on the defensive line that's constantly applying pressure.
Yeah,
like, what is it? Yeah, what is it that you guys? That's true. But Max is like Max Crosby is a madman.
Funny right there.
But he seems so cool to be around. Like, he gets on the field and he seems like
cares about winning. Yeah,
I would love to kick it with
he's a competitor. He's a real competitor. He's a real competitor for sure.
So what is it that makes you guys so locked in when because you guys were talking trash and before the season started, talking trash to them. Like you had them beat when they were there in Vegas. They came back and won, and you played another tough game at Kansas City. What is it about what you guys have going against them that makes you feel like you can beat them every time you line up?
I mean, that's just confidence. We feel like we can beat anybody, but I just feel like you gotta have that athlete. I meant that mindset as an athlete. But I don't know, man. It's PG, like say our DC, he been around the block. So you know what I'm saying? He be dialing it up and they be playing it's like a internal game between them two and he be on it.
You know what he's doing. What's it like for those personal matchups week to week? I know you look on your schedule. Oh man, I go here. Oh, it's gonna be tough. What's it like week to week is gonna be a challenge because it is the league. Is truly no days off, but what are those matchups, personal matchups, like for you week to week?
I mean, they're definitely like say I'm playing like the best of the best. So like say it's definitely if you're not on your A game, if you're not ready, if you don't prepare, like
you will get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you will get exposed. But honestly, I've been really focused on like learning like big picture, like our DC versus their OC, like. You know what I'm saying? Like big picture, like I'll get into the matchups, but that's not really like
you think
that's not where I live at. Yeah, that's not where I live at because I'm playing safety now. So at Notre Dame I played a lot of nickel. It wasn't really I wasn't really involved in the chess game as much because I had a man, you know what I'm saying? I gotta
chase
man eyes. Yeah. I gotta be disciplined in my technique. But yeah, I just think kind of like I told you at the beginning, just trying to learn that game. I think that'll take me the farthest, like or anybody really, like just learning the big picture and
stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
So NIL landscape, I'm very interested. I always love talking to former college players about if they had to do recruiting all over again in the current landscape, what do they think their worth would have been coming out of high school? If T Harp is a senior right now, 4 or 5 star right now, what is T Harp and his what is he looking for? Is it
going for the money? Are you going for
where's the NIL deal? Where's the city priority?
I don't know how the market is looking right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? But based off of when I was there, I just feel like, I mean, I would have definitely been able to get at least 100,000. Like,
Yeah, at least something. Yeah,
I'm at least I'm at least in the six-figure
driving
range.
something nice.
Yeah, I'm at least in the six-figure range. But yeah, you know, I would have leveraged it. I wasn't like the biggest recruit. So like, but the teams that wanted me, I feel like they really wanted me and was interested. So yeah, I would have.
They was gonna slide a little briefcase.
Yeah, look, Tom, they had the money too. So you know, yeah, for sure.
You know what's crazy? The reports are for the best defensive tackles in any class. It is $500,000 to get in the door.
Oh, just to get a conversation?
To get in the door.
Okay.
So that's
the market looking real healthy. Looking real healthy for
real healthy.
I'm glad, man. Go,
Who knows? Cause see, I'm done having kids. So Left, you know, his boys are young. Harper, I'm the family and children are in front for you.
For
so
sure.
You start preparing for, you know, little Harper and what his market is going to be.
Oh yeah,
20-some years from now.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him right. I'm gonna be the agent. I'm gonna guide him right. We're gonna do it the right way.
Let's
get everything out of it.
What's your goals moving forward, man? What's your goals? Get healthy, of course. Get acquainted with, you know, everything that's new within the building. And then, you know, what does Harp see for himself for the upcoming season?
Just improve on this season, you know, just keep doing it. And then, I mean, really, like say, just continuing to just grow as a player. Like, I still feel like I'm young and raw somewhat. So yeah, just keep learning, keep improving, and just doing whatever they need me to do and doing it to the best of my ability and just stacking on the year that I had, really.
So you're out there in Vegas. I gotta ask you, what's the chill spot? Like when you trying to relax, what's the chill spot?
My crib. My crib.
Boy, that's such a good answer, Left. That's such a good answer. I love that answer.
You know, one, you can't give up the spots. But
your PR person would be proud of you, Hart.
You can't put it out there because then they're gonna start showing up to the spot.
That's true. You can't tell everybody. You can't tell everybody your spot in the cut. You can't do it. What's your favorite spot to eat in Vegas, though?
I probably like this place called Taste Buds. It's like a Jamaican spot, but yeah, I like that spot. It's so many out here.
That's what I'm saying. It must be an adventure out there. You probably
are you a curry goat, jerk chicken, or oxtail dude?
I like the jerk salmon.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they got that on their menu. The jerk salmon. I be with the yams, the jerk salmon with the yams, and then the mac and the collard greens.
You get the plantains with it too?
I get the cornbread.
What kind of Jamaicans cooking from South?
Little mix of everything, I guess.
Yeah, hey, we're in Vegas. You being on the West Coast than South Bend? Like, what's the transition be like? You probably a lot happier. Where it's out there.
I wouldn't even say I'm happier. I mean, I feel like I am in a happy place right now for sure.
That's good, bro.
For sure. Good. But I feel like I was happy back then too. But
straight up.
But yeah, being here and looking there, like definitely wouldn't like. Here is a lot more entertaining. Like,
yeah,
so a lot more to do.
You putting roots down in the West Coast or what? Well, you staying out that way?
I don't know. I'm a down south guy. I think I might go back down south.
For sure.
Yeah, or just both. Why not both?
Why not both? Hey, that sick contract coming up. Why not?
A fan asks whether or not you've been to Manhattan Burger out there yet.
No, Marathon. That's it.
Oh, Marathon Burger. I'm sorry.
It just opened.
That's in LA though, right?
Yeah, it just opened in LA.
Oh, LA. That's like a 30-minute flight. It's not far. LA right there.
Yeah, quick flights.
Yeah, quick.
Stay away from LA in the off season, boy.
Yeah, man. Hey, what you say in the crib? You say in the crib?
I'm in the crib. That's my favorite place.
That's your favorite place?
Yeah.
LA? No, it's smooth, bro.
Oh
Like,
no, not not LA, but LA is
In
nice too
between.
though. I do like LA. They got the
okay.
beach. They got the beaches. So the beaches they bring something different to the table.
All right. So
And the
I
sand.
don't know if you've seen this. And left
I didn't
is
hear what you
already
said.
you crazy boy. You crazy. Left, you a wild boy. Lefty podcast. So T Harp, I don't know if you've seen this, but it's going viral, and Notre Dame players have been reacting to the current squad, talking about who the best 5 hoopers were on this year's team, and former Notre Dame players have been kicking in with their all-time best 5 from when they were there at Notre Dame. You know, I know you were only there for a short time, but who were the best 5 hoopers on the Notre Dame squad?
I really can't answer that question because we never ended up like hooping because I had like a little injury. You know, I came in with the shoulder, so I never got to actually hoop or watch them hoop. But I definitely would have been on there, just because I got a hooping background. So like, I definitely would have been in the one. Like,
Hold it down.
So what's your game? You get buckets, you defend, you 3 and D. Yeah, what?
I'm like a slasher. Like, like I'm gonna get to the basket and I'm gonna create for somebody. I'm gonna assist. I'm a facilitator. Yeah, you hit it on the head.
Okay. So there's no one that you heard about, even though you didn't get a chance to watch or participate. There's nobody that you heard talking trash in the locker room or saying, "Dude, I'll give you buckets. You need to take it easy."
Man, Cam used to talk a lot of trash.
Cam Hart?
Yeah, Cam Hart.
Now that's shocking to me.
Ben Morrison, like, you know, I feel like that's just what they do, though. I feel like a lot of people was just in there just talking.
They just chatting.
Yeah, we just chatting. We ain't really on the court.
No, they ain't on the court.
Yeah, you know, we just locker room talk.
Oh, that's funny.
So you think offensive players or defensive players make the best hoopers?
I'm not gonna lie. I definitely think offensive players would probably make the best hoopers because defensive, like, just too aggressive. They're gonna be fouling a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Offensive players just got the mentality of an offensive player is just more geared like a basketball player, in my opinion.
So T Hart, watch, this is gonna mess you up. I'm gonna ask Left, tell him who the best hooper was during your time at Notre Dame. It all when you say this, it always bothers me.
Mike McGlinchey, yeah,
Mike McGlinchey, bro.
And that brother's big.
Mike McGlinchey, long time offensive tackle in the NFL. Where's Mike? He just left.
An offensive tackle?
Yeah, he's in Denver now.
He was the best. I mean,
he was the best hooper.
He must have had a real slow, smooth bag because he was like
Jokic.
Tackle.
No, he was like Jokic. He just could do. I'm like, hey, you can hoop, but you got cement feet sometimes. Like,
yeah. Okay. That's crazy. Offensive tackle is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like a receiver.
Nah, but he was a hooper.
Maybe a DB.
He was a hoop. Yeah, he was one of the best hoopers in the state in Massachusetts before he came to Notre Dame. He was like a big 6'7" power forward.
Okay.
Could shoot, pass,
he got the prettiest shot. Like he just like, dang, like this.
You're real smooth.
Yeah, you got the wrong sport, brother.
Yeah.
So you get a chance. You ever get a chance to come back or go back to Notre Dame? The pro day tomorrow. Pro day is tomorrow.
Yeah, how you feel about Notre Dame now? Yeah, went through the process. Y'all had a lot of success. Well, only a year, but you know, I don't know how does it weigh up to your. Probably doesn't weigh up too much to your years at Oklahoma State, but just in general, where do you put Notre Dame in your football timeline and how you treat it?
I like the football wise is definitely number one, like no questions. Like I feel like football wise, I learned the most, grew the most there. Like I was blessed with some good coaches. Like
wow.
But like school wise, I mean, like I've been in Oklahoma State for 4 years, so I had a lot more experiences, and I was younger. Like so, I feel like it's more emotional, like school wise there. But Notre Dame, like. If I had Notre Dame, I would want to send my kid
tied you up. It's just you like, let me just get right.
Yeah, I want to send my kid there. You know what I mean? Like, go get right. Go learn how to you know what I'm saying, be a man. Like,
yeah, straight up. Okay. So you think it was a good practice run for your rookie year going into the league in that process?
For sure, like for sure. I like it's crazy when I sit back and think because I really feel like everything happened like for the right reasons. Like I needed certain people, I needed certain things at different stages. You know what I mean? Like I really feel like everything happened for the right reasons. Even though at the time I'm not seeing it like that. At the time I'm seeing it like, oh, like it was supposed to go this way. Like why it's not going this way? This is the way I expected it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's crazy looking back at it and realizing like even though like at the time it seemed like it was a detriment, it really like everything really worked
Working
out.
out.
Yeah, like
You
everything
like,
really worked out, right? Like it's really crazy, yeah.
because I
Now,
told you, Sean, everybody go through that process where
you
it's like
did.
it's like, dang, it's Notre Dame, it's good, but it's like, nah, it ain't good. Like, nah, it's not what I thought.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's not what you thought. It's not what you thought.
yeah. But then it works. It'd be like, dang, it's like you leave and you like, dang, okay, I see it though. It's coming together though at the same
Right.
time.
Yeah, you need it. I low key needed it. Like it
Yeah,
low key helped. Like
yeah,
Do
absolutely.
you low key feel like, man, if I had like one more year here,
yeah.
because
I see
now,
that's the thing though. I wouldn't want four though. I would
Yeah.
like I feel like how I did it was
See, that's
perfect.
what I'm
right,
telling you.
right,
Perfect.
right,
Like
right.
I know
you know what
4
I'm
years.
saying? Get in, get out.
Yeah.
Learn what
See,
you need to
it's
learn.
an
Okay.
uncomfortable good thing. It's like it's
Yeah,
super
facts.
uncomfortable, but you
Facts.
need it for a short time. They trying to get you out. I feel like they trying to get you out.
Yeah.
Just go with it and just get
Nah,
right.
but to your point, one more year probably would have helped me even more, like for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. But
So Notre Dame fans, of course, you'll be facing another one of your former coaches who left to go be the defensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals. Uh,
You'll
just
see it
talk
out there.
about Al Golden, man, because Notre Dame fans are like, man, he was so good. Like, what made his defense and the way he went about it special, according to Notre Dame fans? And how did you feel about him as a defensive coordinator?
I mean, he was great. Like I had no problem. Like whenever I was with the Chargers, I had no problem like coming in. I felt like I was kind of almost like mentally ahead, which kind of helped me out early in camp, just because that system, like the system was once you differentiate the terminologies, the terms, and put them where they need to be. I mean, it's really like similar. Like it's real similar. I'm not like
Oh, so it was like you knew what was going on. You just had to get the names right.
well, because it's only a couple coverages really you can run, like cover
Right.
three, cover two, and like obviously it's like different types of cover threes and different types. But I feel like for the most part it's all similar. Like it's all we need somebody here, 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 and here, and where do you fit in the puzzle?
Mm.
And every coach will have their own little lingo, but here it may have been called this, whereas here this is called this, but it's really the same thing. So once you learn that and can just get the terms right, it's like I feel like it allowed me to just kind of fit in wherever.
But Al Golden definitely put you in a position. Well, you had Knowles too for a short time, right?
I had Knowles, I had Coach Golden, I had Chris O'Leary, Mickens. Like I really had a lot of
Yeah, I mean, dang,
good minded people to learn from and like learn and bounce up, like
that's
learn
the
from.
thing.
Yeah.
Like, what makes Mick, man? So I cover recruiting as well, and I'm amazed at like the kids that Mickens finds that everybody gets in on like super late in the process. Like he'll find them like sophomore year, and then all the big dogs will like come the summer before their senior year, like, oh, here's an offer. And Mick has already established a relationship. Like Leonard Moore was like a 3-star. Leonard Moore, I think, how much did Oregon offer him after the title game? How much?
Million.
They offered him $4 million after the title game. $4 million. And this is a kid.
And some shoes.
That market looking crazy. For sure.
So when you think about that, what do you think it is about Mike Mickens, his eye, his evaluation, and his ability to teach What is it that makes him so good?
I mean, I don't. He just knows how to. He knows what to look for, like what attributes to look for. I think. I don't know. Like I really don't know, but I think
So when he was talking to you, or when him and Chris
Yeah, how did
was
he
talking
sell
to
you?
you,
Yeah,
how did they sell you to come to Notre Dame? What did they see when they saw you on film and they said, "Yo, you're a perfect fit for us"?
I mean, they had Bracy, so they were showing me his film and kind of like, okay, like this is how he played it, but this is like pretty much what his job is here, and like kind of like how would you play it? And I would be like, oh yeah, and I just felt like I seen a lot of opportunities to make plays, and and then also kind of just really just talking to the coaches and learning more, like going more in depth about just the big picture of football. I feel like also sold me too because that was kind of like a
They was
selling
really
point
talking
too.
football to you, and you was like, "Oh,
Exactly, yeah, and I really kind of wasn't understanding, so I was like, I need to know this. Like,
yeah."
they got
I must
information that I don't
know
know right
something.
now. Right.
No, that's the key, in recruiting who can get you to the next level, and they start talking over your head. You be like, well, I thought I knew, but y'all know something. That's an instant. You start thinking, forget everything else. If I can get this, I know I'm to the league.
Yeah, because I wasn't even thinking NIL money at the time. Like, that's not even what was on my mind. Like, yeah, like I had some offers for sure, and like what surprised, but I wasn't even like that was like third on my list of what was important. So it didn't even get to that.
So I want to ask you about a moment because I need clarity on what took place, but I'll say that for the end. I want to ask you about what was the moment that you realized, oh, Notre Dame is different. Like, we were laughing because Riley Leonard, before the season, had his press conference, and he was like, "Oh, I've been in plenty of big games."
I've been
and we were like, "Nah, bro, this ain't due." And then after that loss to Northern Illinois, he started receiving like all of this vitriol.
Oh, you talking about yeah.
Then he recognized like, oh, it's different.
Yeah,
Notre Dame. Like, when did you realize like, oh, it's different here?
The Duke game.
Ooh.
When I gave up a touchdown, and
that's what I want to ask you
y'all
about.
just turned y'all back on me like this, like whoa, like y'all really just turned y'all back on me like this. I'm telling you, I had to block comments because I'm a real like, yeah, I get real emotional with what I say if I like when I mean it. So it's like I be taking it to the heart, like. Yeah, so I had to block some people because I was arguing. I found myself arguing online, and that just that ain't a good look.
Over explaining yourself to fans.
Yeah, that ain't a good look. So I had to block. I had to do what I had to do, but they just turned their back on me. Just turned their back. But it's love though. They always, it's always love. But crazy.
It's really momentary, bro. It really is. It's almost like we do shows, and if I focus on the 3% that hit the down thumb versus the 97% that hit the thumbs up, it'll drive me crazy.
Yeah, it's just you're gonna go in circles, driving yourself crazy.
Absolutely. So it's like it's funny you mentioned that game because that's the moment I wanted to ask you about. Right. I remember that touchdown, and I just remember vividly you sitting on the bench, and I don't even know if you knew the camera was on you. But it was like your face in that moment, because I don't think, did you come out the next series on defense?
Yeah, because I actually got a concussion that game. So a couple plays before, so that's probably why my face was looking crazy. But so a couple, because they had drove down, it was like a pal, and I ended up showing up before JD, and then JD showed up, and he came with everything he got in the back of my head. So I was like, oh. But yeah, like it was crazy. I actually had a concussion and then stayed in, came out, and then it was a big play. So I was like, yeah, like I'm going back in, like. And then they decided to do some trickery, some mental, and then
that's how they do you. That's how they do.
I learned from it. It won't happen again. I learned from it.
You just gotta learn. You're like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was too locked in. I wasn't thinking big picture. You know what I'm saying? I was just thinking locked in on my man, but it won't happen again.
So what was that moment when you were like, man, I wish I could experience this again? Like, what was that big moment, whether it was a game or just anything, where you were like, yo, all right.
I think in camp with the Chargers, I had some crazy plays.
Mm.
And I just felt like because it wasn't a game. My bad. My apologies.
No, you good.
Obviously it wasn't a game, but I mean, you play it was a game. Like without
Yeah,
the cameras, it was a game. Like people had a lot to prove, you know. But yeah, I made a crazy play, and I just kind of felt like that's what I needed to just like. I just needed a play where, because I was doing good, but I just needed something to like really stamp it, and I just felt like that making those plays was like it reassured me, my belief in myself, and then I just feel like everyone else as well around me. But I mean, yeah, just that feeling was good for sure.
You knew you belonged in the league at that point.
Exactly right.
That's crazy. So
it was like a span of like weeks though. Like it wasn't just one play, but it was like I made a play, made another play, should have made another. Like it was just,
You're
I
like,
just
oh
feel like
yeah,
I belong.
y'all ain't messing with me. Yeah, I'm hot. Y'all tripping.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's that NFL moment that you were like, dang, like whether it was like defending Brock Bowers for the first time or going up against somebody else for the first time, like man, he fast for real, like it's different out here, like
yeah, that's a good question. I think being in that box for the first couple times, and then on special teams as well, just because, especially like preseason special teams, obviously everyone's giving 110% trying to make the roster. So, I mean, yeah, like you gotta come with everything. You can't just be out there trying to half step. Like,
no.
Now, what is it about that box?
Right? Yeah, you gotta be out there really trying to, the right mindset.
What is it about that NFL box that's different?
I mean, just the people playing in it, like they're just like freak athletes across the board.
So you see moves and all type of stuff. You're like, wait, ooh, shit.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, people be 250, but moving like they 180 pounds or 200 pounds. So it'd be eye opening. But yeah, I mean, just the freaks that you play against.
Before we let you go, Hart, once again, thanks for joining us right here at Lucky Lefty Podcast. Follow Thomas Harper on social media, man. I am the Hart. Did I get it right?
I am Hart. I am T Hart.
I am T Hart. I don't know why I said I am the Hart. I am T Hart.
It ain't no apostrophe in the middle, but
right.
Yeah.
I am T Hart. Lock in, Notre Dame fans. Follow his journey. Send prayers and all your good thoughts out to him as he gets ready in the off season for the upcoming season. You think you ever get a chance to go back to a game day in South Bend?
Yeah, I'll go back. I'm just waiting.
Were you jealous when you watched that first playoff game and you saw the atmosphere? Were you like, ooh, I wish I was there one more year?
No, I wasn't jealous, but I definitely I actually was with my god brother and I told him like, dang, like if I had one more year,
be crazy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I was proud of them boys. I was happy for them. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. So who should we watch out for? Who were the youngsters? Who were your youngins that we should watch out for now?
Obviously Christian Gray, like Christian Gray. I like I like a lot of, I mean, I really like all of them. Like Osbury's nice, Drake's nice. Like I ain't gonna lie, like they always making plays. I really was messing with all that. Yeah, I really like
young boys is ready. Yeah, young boys is ready.
Don Schuler for sure. I think if I had to pick one, I'd definitely say him just because he was in the same room as me and I think
y'all just understood the mission.
Yeah, and I think he got what it takes. Like I know he got what it takes. So
it had to be.
So he laying stuff on the floor for sure.
For sure. I like how he played too. Like I like his game.
Yeah. It's crazy because I think I've been to one practice. I wasn't able to go to practice today. This was second. Today was the second media accessibility, but the one practice I did go to, I was just sitting there like, this team is really fast, bro. At every single level. Yeah. It's crazy. And then Brian Urlacher's son is like a heat-seeking missile, bro. He just straight downhill, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't seen him really range-wise in coverage, but like if you throw a quick screen, he's lighting that up. Like it's crazy. Anything you want to tell Notre Dame fans before we let you go? We thank you for your time, T. Harper.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nothing. Just go Irish. Yeah, appreciate y'all embracing me. I'll turn y'all back on me for a quick little minute, but we got it right.
They'll come back. They're gonna come on back.
We got it right.
So you never experienced anything like that out at Oklahoma State?
Nah, not Oklahoma State.
Wow, really?
Not at all.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
I mean, yeah, not at all. It was nothing but love.
He said, "Nah, nothing like that."
It's that Notre Dame fan base. It really is a different level. Like
it's bro.
What type of loyalty is this?
But man, the love they have for you. If you lay it on the line for them, regardless.
Oh yeah, it's two-sided for sure.
Dude, they locked in with you forever.
Right.
T. Hart, we appreciate you for joining us on the Lucky Lefty podcast. We look forward to having you back on again. God's blessings and eternal favor upon you, bro.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me on. Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. That's Thomas Harper, former Notre Dame defensive back and current Las Vegas Raiders defensive back, right here, Lucky Lefty podcast. Well, he gave us darn near 45 minutes, bro. I asked for 15 to 20. He was like, yo, let's do it. So I have a bunch of clips that we'll just save. We'll say the players, defensive line, offensive line for tomorrow. And we'll get into Joe Rudolph in the offensive line tomorrow left. We'll do that tomorrow, bro. Well, we'll end this on the high. I knew I was waiting to talk about that Duke moment because I already knew that
He's
was
still
the moment.
thinking about it.
Yeah. I was like, let me say it before the end. And as soon as he said it, I was like, I knew it. Because it was crazy. You could tell people blamed him. And dude, Notre Dame fans were coming at him, and Notre Dame won the game. They won the game.
I ain't care nothing about
and
that.
The fans were like, we don't care. We don't care.
Close.
Right. Don't let it happen again.
Yeah, like what your mom said.
They would treat him like old boy when he was in the interrogation room. You know you done messed up, right?
You know you didn't.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, you didn't see that?
You didn't see that?
Hey.
Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody that jumped on. We talked about the Notre Dame offensive line. Some signs to tell us who might be the starting five. And then we also heard from Al Washington talking about his defensive line depth, talking about Armel Mookum, Bryce Young, and the transfers that came in, Dawson and Elijah Hughes. And then we heard from Thomas Harper, former Notre Dame defensive back. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's show, I'll be giving you an update and letting you know how the pro day went. I will be down there starting at 10 o'clock. I think there will be coverage on Peacock at some point. I believe there will be coverage on Peacock. So you can tap in on Peacock for that coverage. And then I'll be back tomorrow night with Left to give you all the numbers, my impressions, the teams that were there, the teams that were talking to certain players, and so much more right here, Lucky Lefty Podcast. For Left, oh, there he is. SD2 mics. We'll see you tomorrow to talk pro day and offensive line with Joe Rudolph and the offensive lineman right here, Lucky Lefty Podcast. Have a great evening, but most of all, make sure you continue to spin it different.